Welcome everyone to my Immortal game series, and today I want to show you the game which is played between Donald Byrne versus Robert James Fischer in the year 1956 in third Rosenwald Trophy in Manhattan Chess Club, and famously you know this game as a game of the century. So Donald Byrne was playing with the white pieces and he played the move that is knight to f3, knight to f6, pawn to c4, pawn to g6, knight to c3, bishop to g7, and after the move d4 he go for the castle. In this position actually the best move you can go for the move that is a d4. It is pawn to e4, I'm sorry, and it's transposed into the King's Indian defense, but he just played the move bishop to f4 and allow the pawn to play to d5, and here go for the move queen to b3. It's kind of like a Hungarian attack it is called, or maybe you can say it's kind of like a similar to the Russian variation of the Grunfeld defense. Pawn takes, queen takes, pawn to c6, and just stopping any kind of attack over here in this file, as well as if in the future the white decide to play the move g3 and a bishop to g2, then in this diagonal that bishop will not get active as such. Pawn to e4, knight b to d7, rook to d1, and knight to b6 attacking on a queen. In this position white should play the move queen to b3 and save the queen, but here he made the first inaccurate move by playing the move queen to c5. Then bishop to g4, and for example if we go for the move example like queen to b3, he can go for the move like bishop to e6, queen to c2, and that's how the variation will go so on. But after the move queen to c5, you go for the move bishop to g4 and pinning the knight, and in this position the best move is simple bishop to e2. In the opening phrase what we call that don't play the same piece twice unless and until it's under attack or you are threatening something. Over here what is it that he just wanted to take the knight and destroy the pawn structure, right? So simple bishop to e2 makes sense, and in the next move white can go for the castle. But here white made a blunder by playing the move bishop to g5, so moving the same piece twice in the opening without any kind of a goal or agenda or anything you can say it. And here black played the move knight to a4, double attack. Now it looks like that, excuse me, the knight is free, right? It's a free, no, knight takes e4, attacking on the queen as well as the bishop. Now over here if there is bishop takes e7, if there is a bishop takes e7, then knight takes, and after the move the takes, rook to d1 check, bishop to e2, knight to a4, and now the bishop he has to defend it. So bishop for example goes to the move a4 and simple knight takes b2 and attacking on this one move, and after capture and capture, okay, the bishop takes is not possible because it's a pin, and after the move takes it just capture it and defending this one, and as you can see the pawn structure is completely ruined. And the same way, in the same way, if example he did not take it and move the queen somewhere, for example queen to c1 and just defending this one, so once again there's a bishop takes, pawn takes, and queen to a5, it's a check as well as attacking on this knight. And here the bishop moves, knight takes, queen takes, and queen takes a4. As you can see, so see the black pawn structure and see the white pawn structures over here. It's a double pawn, this is isolated, this I don't know what is doing, and the e5 with a move rook to d8, it's challenging kind of thing. But after the move knight to a4, he went for the move queen to a3. So Fischer is like, okay, I take it, knight takes c3, b takes c3. Now e4 pawn is available and he just take it, knight takes e4. In this position it looks like that, hey, I can go for the move bishop takes e7, right? Yes, bishop takes e7, queen to b6, and it looks like that, hey, if I will take the rook, then 9 bishop takes f8, attacking on the queen. And when, for example, the queen will go to c1, queen will go to c1, that's a knight takes c3. Of course, the queen cannot take it because bishop to b4, with the help of the queen, it's a pinning, and pinning is winning. Yeah? So because of that one, after this move, you go for the move bishop to c4, knight takes c3. And once again, over here it looks like that if he will take here, then what will happen? Nothing. It's simple rook here. He's just removing the pin, and this pinned is bishop. And if over here it's a castling, then rook takes e7. And if white try to defend, for example, queen to a3 or something, queen to a3, then bishop takes, destroy the pawn structure of the white, and then he will go for the move queen to d8. And of course the bishop cannot take it because it's a pin. That was his idea. But after this move, takes, and he did not go for the take, actually he played the move bishop to c5 and asking the question to the queen that what he wants to do. Over here, Fischer first go for the tempo. Rook f to e8 is a check. First removing the rook from the bishop attack. Rook f to e8, and after the move king to f1. Over here you can pause the video and find out the best move for a black here. And a black here played the move bishop to e6. It's amazing that he when this game he played, he just 13 years old, and bishop e6 he found that move. And now white fall into the trap by playing the move bishop takes b6. It's like, okay, I take the queen, now what? But in this position the best move is actually queen takes to c3, and Fischer here will play the move queen takes c5. Of course this pawn is pinned, so after the move pawn takes, it's a simple bishop takes over here. Yeah, if there's a bishop takes e6, then simple rook takes e6. All is fine, everything is in black's favor. But here after the move it takes, it's like bishop to c4, it's a check, king to g1, the only move, knight to e2 check, king to f1, knight takes d4 check, king to g1, knight to e2 check, king move to f1, knight to c3, it's a check, king to g1, it's kind of like a windmill you can say, and here he captured the bishop. Now let's just see that what material the Fischer has. If we just see, first of all, the queen cannot take it, and the queen is under attack, of course. So queen cannot take on c3 because bishop is protecting. So this is the idea behind knight takes d4 actually. And now if you compare the material, that is knight and knight is equal, and rook and rook is equal. Okay, so against the queen, he has a rook and two bishops, basically you can say. Now you will say, why you did not count this rook? Okay, let's not count this h1 rook. Okay, so knight and knight equal, rook and rook is here. Okay, and comparison with the two bishops and a rook for this queen. Now why you are not counting this rook? Okay, the h1 rook, because this rook is not doing anything. Okay, and is not active, and the entire game if you see, they will not do anything. And after the move queen here, rook to a4, attacking on the queen, queen moves, and you just take this one. Now the active rook is gone. Once again, if you wanted to count the material, so it's knight and knight is equal. For a rook, okay, now you can take this rook also, and for that if you see rook and versus rook and two bishop versus a queen, so it's 11 versus 9, and definitely it's in a black's favor. And in this kind of positions, always remember, if you are playing with the multiple pieces, like for example queen versus two rooks, queen versus two bishops and a knight, queen versus two knights and a bishop, queen versus rook versus knight and bishop, rook versus bishop and bishop, rook versus knight and knight. So in that one, always remember one thumb rule, and generally for the queen versus if you're playing, that your king should be safe. If your king is safe, you can play these things. Okay, you can see the same theme, the same idea behind this one of the game which is played between Alexei Shirov versus Vishwanathan Anand in the year 1998 or 96, if I'm not wrong, and it's played on 14th February 1996. I think I will put the link into the description. You can check that game. So it's same, that queen versus Alexei Shirov has a single queen, and Vishwanathan Anand had 2 rooks in that game, and the thumb rule is the black's king is safe. With the Karukan defense, Vishwanathan Anand played amazing game in that one. So after this one, knight to d1, it's h3. Why? It just created a vacuum so that the king can run away. Otherwise, there is a back rank mate is there. So rook takes a2, king to h2, try to bring the rook. Knight takes f2. As you can see, he has only now 2 pawns, and you see now 3 pawns extra also from the black side. Rook to e1. It was like, okay, rook takes, check. Now here is the key. You see that his king, black's king, is ultra safe. He just played the move, okay, bishop to f8. Now what? Knight takes, bishop to d5, knight to f3, knight to e4, and when he go for the move queen to b8, he just wanted to take this one. It's like b5. No, I don't wanted to give the pawn. And after the move h4, he played the move h5, knight jumps, and king to g7. So now this bishop is free. It's removed the pin, and this bishop is free to move. And here he made a blunder by playing the move king to g1. Now you can pause the video and find out the best move which Fischer played in this position. He played check. That is the reason he played the move king to g7. So it's a check, king to f1, king h2 is much better. And now it's just a checkmate, you know. That's knight to g3 check, king to e1, bishop to b4 check, king to d1, bishop to b6, b3 check, king to c1, knight to e2 check, king to b1, knight to c3 check, king to c1, and simple rook move to c2. It is checkmate. So the best part of this game is, first of all, he found the move that's bishop to e6 over here, and the another one is the queen sacrifice. And when this game he played this, his age was only 13 years old. Thank you so much for watching.